Hello, everyone, and thank you for checking out our actual play for an upcoming game called Summons. I'm Matthew Pose. I will be the game master or storyteller for this arc that we're doing, and we're going to start by doing session zeros for each player slash character. So, today we have.
Hi, I'm Gray, and I will be playing Reginald the Second, aka Reggie, the nerd turned, hopefully, strong hero.
All right, and with that, we're going to do character creation through kind of like a mini session. So, we find Reginald taking ownership of 213 Sunny Ave in the wonderful town of Town. And what was Reggie's plan with this property?
Well, Reggie is a sort of a ghost hunter. He's interested in the unexplained. Currently, this is how he is. He had received the house through auction. He's read some stuff about it, knows that it's a little sketchy. Things have happened here. People are disappearing, and so Reggie has decided that the best way to find out about it is to actually go to it. So he has found out that it was up for auction. It was a fairly cheap buy. His parents are, for the most part, fairly wealthy, so this wasn't a big deal for him to really to get this place. But he's decided that the best way to learn about it is to take possession of it. So he has just acquired this from an auction and is going to be moving in to see if he can find anything from it.
All right, so as you take kind of possession of this place in 2010, you have the moving van there with a bit of stuff, and you've kind of opened up this place for the first time, and it's very quiet, very empty in this kind of entryway. Picture of a woman with kind of a witch's hat hangs there. It's a little crooked. Um, and as you wander into this home, you kind of make your way around the first floor, finding a common room, the kitchen, stairs up, stairs down to the basement, a small office. And in the office, it's set up with a very, very old desk. Um, Looks to be maybe marble. And the
Okay.
strange thing is kind of this perfect like bowl shape that's been carved into the center of it.
Um, Reggie being the inquisitive mind that he is, has his flashlight with him just because he never knows what he's going to run into. And he would definitely investigate this table. He would definitely investigate all of the cabinets, looking for anything hidden. Because he's just looking just to figure out what the heck's been going on here. The bowl part in the table would definitely intrigue him to the point where he would definitely also be checking that out.
Right, and as he kind of flashes his light around it, when the light hits the bowl just the right way, there seems to be five symbols engraved on around the edging of it. They don't look like anything English, and look more symbol than any kind of language.
He would get out one of his little books he has, most likely for anyone that can relate, a dollar store book, because he's not really a real ghost hunter. He is a novice at best. He pulls it out and would attempt to draw these symbols down, just so he has a copy of them if he ever needs to show anyone anything. Are they glowing? Is there obviously, it's
No,
not
they're
normal.
they're just kind of carved in on the edging in a very weird angle, making it hard to see till you kind of flashed your light and kind of noticed it.
So he'll definitely use his light to draw these down. Um, he'll, you know, he's got to know, is there, are they indented like you said, carved? So he'll like
Yeah,
obviously run his fingers over them to see if he can like notice them a bit better, or if anything, there's anything not nefarious, but anything about them besides being just carved.
yeah, they just seem to be there. They seem, quite sharp, quite detailed, and Reggie actually kind of gives a bit of a jump when there's a loud bump upstairs, kind of scratching his finger on one of these symbols.
Uh, all right. So obviously, being now more focused on the noise, uh, he'll have his flashlight out, um, and he will obviously be trying to use the lights in the place. But he
Yeah.
assumes it's an old, beat up place, so for whatever reason, he still has his light out. He will head upstairs because he needs to know what the heck that noise was. What is going on up there?
All right, and as you kind of turn the lights on, there's a flickering inside, and you start making your way up. The lights in the place are not working great. The electrical is probably an issue. Unfortunately, this place was auctioned off as is, so kind of
Which is
perfect.
hence the flashlight. He weirdly is like most people would be like probably a little freaked out. He's into this. This is this is actually what he was looking for. He's been looking for this kind of thing for a while now. So the fact that like the lights are flickering and everything, it feels very like almost like a movie to him. And so he's got kind of a weird smile on his face as he's going through and investigating. He's hoping he finds something, whereas most people would hope it literally is nothing.
So you get upstairs, and there's 5 doors there. One of them is open. It looks like a bathroom. You kind of shine your light in. The other 4 seem to be closed. And it's those old style that used to use the old thick keys style door handles. The wood looks like it hasn't been replaced in some time either. Not in bad repair, just old looking.
So against his better judgment, because one thing he's learned from, movies and other things is basically don't ever yell out. But because he's just to be on the safe side, he does does do the hello? Is anybody there?
And coming not
While holding his flashlight.
coming not from the door that he heard the sound from, but from the opposite direction, he hears a low growl. And as he
Uh
does, the floor even kind of vibrates slightly.
so where is this coming from? Away from the open door?
So there's 5 doors up here. One's open, which is the bathroom. On the side above the office where you heard the bump, opposite door to that, facing, you hear this loud growl coming from.
He's gonna go over to the door and try to like listen in to see if he can determine because I mean maybe it's a stray dog or something else up here or some kind of like raccoon or something's in there, but he wants to be sure before he would even attempt to go into that room. So he wants to listen in and see if he can figure out what the noise is.
Right, and you hear something moving around. There's a lot of jostling inside. You hear the odd bark here and there.
So he assumes it's an animal, a dog. One thing he's learned from sneaking into places is you never enter a room with a possible starving dog without something. So he would attempt to then go see if he could find some kind of like, well, one, the door's locked, right?
Do you try it?
No, not yet. He wants to have some sort of food or something that he could maybe stop whatever is going to rip his face off. And maybe make it its friend. So he will attempt, I guess, to run to the kitchen and see if there's anything that he can maybe salvage.
Right, and as you turn around, uh, beside this door and overlooking the banister over, you see this large 7-foot black armor, spikes appearing from it directly behind you as you turned around. The eyes glow red for a second. How does Reggie react?
Um, so he's not going to run because this is his thing. He's interested in it, but he is also like very surprised by it. He definitely would like back up against the door. And as you said, its eyes are glowing red.
The where the eyes should be in this armor, there's a red glow. Yes.
Uh, he will use his flashlight to like kind of shine to see if there's any reaction from this crazy 7-foot armor.
Right, and as you do, the light goes out and the armor just collapses everywhere, making a loud bang and a mess.
He definitely has that like where you're super nervous and he's kind of giddy and he's like, "Oh yeah, there's something here. There's definitely something here." Uh he kind of kicks the armor to see if it's like what could have possibly done it. Does the armor move at all like once it's on the floor? Like is it just basically disabled now at this
It
point?
seems like it's falling apart, and as you give it a kick, you can see a bunch of strings extending out from the armor.
Oh. That's so using it, he will follow the strings to see if he can find out where they're connected. Obviously, maybe there isn't something here. Maybe this is just someone's prank.
Yeah, and you look inside, and it looks like there's some kind of mechanical device that will kind of like pull all the strings together and have the thing assemble itself. And there seems to be something up in the helmet that seems to be some kind of like light feed.
He laughs to himself and he just like lets out a big like whew because he's like, okay, we're okay, everything's okay. He goes, all right, and he kind of does the like the har har, very funny type deal as he realizes that this is obviously a prank. Someone's set up some kind of trap or something here. Um, he's gonna poke his head in the room because now he's convinced maybe there's not even a dog or anything in there. He might just be like a soundscape or something, but he wants to
Hmm.
be safe and not get his face ripped off. So he will still look in the room.
Right, but
Um,
before he does that, the room that's across from there, the room across from where you heard this dog, the door's now open.
okay. He now assumes that all right, this is just part of the trick. That this is just part of he's being lured into the room. He knows it's a trap, but now that he thinks that there's not really a ghost or something here, he's like, under his breath, he'll be like, I see what you're doing here. He goes, I'll play your game. And he heads towards the door that is now open.
Right, and getting inside, it seems to be this big empty area, scribbled on the walls in what looks like maybe marker, are those same symbols you've seen in the desk downstairs,
Okay. Um,
just much bigger.
and he'll kind of go up to them and like be like kind of like trying to like figure out. He's like, what do you mean? As he's like looking around the room to see if there's anything else that might give him a hint. Uh or anything that might actually like help him because he like I said he's a bit of a nerd, so he's done escape rooms in his day and he's very confident with his abilities, so he's looking around to see there's got to be something else because just these symbols isn't enough to give him anything.
Mhm. And as he's studying, there's a loud slam as the door seems to have shut.
He just sighs. He's like, of course it did. He's convinced. He's like, yeah, of course I should have, yeah. um He's like, "So then they'll expect me to go try the door, and then something will happen." He's like, okay, all right." And then he'll go try the door.
And yes, it's locked, much like he expected.
Yeah. Does anything happen besides it's locked? Because he's still expecting something else to jump out at him or
No, it just seems to be locked. You're in this room, it's got a closet, it's got a window, and it's got these symbols drawn on the wall.
um closet, a window. He looks out the window. Is it just
You're on the second
look
story, but it's a window. You're looking at the back of the house. It's got a nice lawn. You can see a shed in the back.
all right. So he then has to look around the room, see if he can figure out how to unlock this door, a la a escape room type situation. He's like, okay, I can do this. He goes, sure, no problem. And he starts looking around the room. If he doesn't really find anything right away, then he'll go back to these symbols.
Yeah, so other than opening the closet and seeing "Please help me," kind of put a marker on the wall, probably someone's prank. Uh, Not a whole lot to be found.
He'll go back to then the symbols. In situations like these, uh, you touch things. So that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna touch one of the symbols and see if anything comes from it.
Right? And you touch them, and nothing.
Hmm. And he hasn't found anything like a key or anything in the room at all to be able
No,
to
it
get out.
seems almost completely empty. And these
Huh.
rooms up here definitely don't match the house key that they gave you for the house.
Well, this is unfortunate. Um, I'm trying to think if he would have anything on him specifically that would help him in this situation, but truthfully, he's probably just running around with a flashlight and a notebook at this point. He maybe has a writing utensil. He's convinced like we're not talking like he doesn't have anything to scan because that doesn't really exist for ghosts or whatever in his world. He's probably got like a junior detective kit or something like really lame like that. Uh on
Whatever he
him.
found at the dollar store.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like stuff like he thinks this is awesome, and he wants to figure it out, but reality is setting in that, maybe I'm not quite prepared for what was happening here. Um, he'll try opening the window.
Yeah, it slides open.
Is he
It was locked
able
from this side.
Okay, is he able to like so are we talking like straight drop down, or are we talking like slanted roof where he could maybe get to another room like to through the window, or
I would say this is probably a slanted one, though that doesn't give you much of a ledge.
so is it likely like I guess you'd have to like shimmy his way to the next room, but is that
Mm,
something that would be doable, or are we like you're looking out there and thinking, "Oh yes, no, this is definitely death."
well, you're only on the second floor. How many people die falling from the second floor?
Oof.
A lot.
I was gonna say I don't have the statistics on that, but I'm probably it's probably more than you think. All right. How would he get the door open then? I mean, besides physically ramming himself against the door.
That is
And
the
and are we
question.
is he confident that he has checked the room thoroughly to the point where um
I would say it's been a good hour now, and like you said,
so
he's good with escape rooms. It's
so he's
just
confident enough to know that he hasn't found a key and the door's most likely not just gonna open magically at this point?
fair. Like
All
he
right.
was able to figure out the armor pretty quickly was just a prop, but this seems kind of empty.
All right, we're doing the window thing, I guess. We're gonna try to shimmy our way over to another room if we can, because he feels confident that he could break a window as compared to breaking a door
Well, the windows are big enough you could open and probably crawl out, but yeah. And you're
without dying, hopefully.
Yeah, and you're on this roof and looking at it, it looks like most of the shingles recently have been replaced. Maybe
Huh.
they were trying to update the house to sell it. And as he is shimmying across this slanted rooftop, um, you don't feel like you're gonna lose your balance, but suddenly, you feel a pull on your ankle. You look down, there's nothing there, and you are flung from the roof.
Oh, great. Obviously, he would try to grab onto the roof while falling, but there's no guarantees
Hmm.
he would do it.
And as the ground approaches and everything suddenly goes black, everything is super quiet for a moment. And the you don't feel a lot of pain. Everything just seems dark. And suddenly there is this light. And as things come into view, you're kind of in a sitting position. Your clothes seem fine, your notebook in hand. But you are not on the lawn. You seem to be on some kind of golden dais with crystalline flooring around, leading up to kind of this five sets of thrones with people sitting on them. The first seems to be a woman with a blindfold on. The second is a man in robes on one side. On the other side of her, a gentleman whose uh, entire appearance is like a deep, deep onyx color. Both from clothing to skin to the eyes itself. It is just kind of this almost outline of a being. Sitting next to him seems some kind of bestial creature, and on the opposite side seems to be a woman who is carrying a number of trinkets and vines wrapped around her arms and that. And this doesn't look like anything you've seen before.
Uh, this is gonna sound strange, but he is really excited. Uh,
Of
most
course he
people
is.
would be really freaked out, but he's like in his head, he's like, I've I've discovered something, and he never expect like he wanted to, but you know, you have that moment, and you're just like, wait a minute, this is actually happening. So he's like, pulls himself to his feet, and he just like is looking around the room in awe. He's like, I did it, and then he's like, where am I? Is this is this a different dimension? Is this am I still at the house?
And the
And he's
woman,
just like asking a ton of questions. Like he's like, if it was anyone else, they'd probably be quite annoyed that this guy is just like spouting off 1,000 questions.
they kind of patiently watch, and it's eventually the woman in front who speaks first. You are in a place between worlds.
Am I dead?
Yes and no. You are dead, but we have interrupted your reincarnation.
The fact that reincarnation is real to him is just like mind blowing. He's okay, okay. Why?
Well, your world had an abundance of souls, and the world that we are sent to watch over does not. Many of them have begun to dim and give up hope. So we are borrowing you for one of your reincarnation cycles if you would be so willing.
Oh, this is the greatest moment of his life. Absolutely. He's like nodding. Like I said, even as she's saying it, he's like, yes, yes, yes.
Mhm. The world we watch over forbids us from acting directly, but we can send vessels in our stead to improve things. Recently, a great corruption has begun to eat away at magic in the lives of the citizens there, and we are hoping that you would accept our quest and help restore this world to a proper function.
He looks excited. His mouth is open, and when she says the word magic, he's like losing his mind. He's like, this is the best. This is absolutely. He has a moment where he manages to rein it in for just a second, and he's like, what would I be doing?
Well, helping people, fighting back the corruption that has fed into the world. We,
He
we
looks down at himself. He's like, I don't know if you've seen me, but I'm not exactly the um athletically inclined helping people type. He says, well, I'm willing to. Um, he
oh,
just like looks very unsure about how he's going to deal with this.
we've explained poorly. Your mind and soul will remain the same. However, we will be giving you a new form in order to deal with this and abilities to assist in this. If you wish to agree. If not, we can return your soul to your world and you can be reborn there.
He's like, no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like, what kind of form are we talking here? He's like, he's now like really into it again.
We can bestow powers on you depending on who you wish to draw power from. I am the Lady of Vision, the ability to manipulate fortunes and destiny. To my right is the Lord of Arcane, the deity of magic and construction. To my opposite is the Lord of Cities, the power of commerce and nobility. The other lady of my council is Lady of Beasts, the power over nature and animals. And the final one is the one that will endure, with the power of survival and bargains.
He's tempted by the first one. You said it was.
Lady of Visions, the one that she is?
You said it changes destiny.
Yeah.
would that what would that mean exactly for him? Because like I'm envisioning more truly though, I'm envisioning more of a strength-based character going from a weak to a strong, but destiny to him also is appealing.
Hmm. Any
What
of
would
these could work for that.
All right, so we're gonna go with alter destiny. That the idea that his destiny was to be a super nerdy ghost hunter type to now a possible hero of people, that really appeals to him. Having what he's never had before, so he would definitely want to go with. He goes, "I choose the Lady of Vision. I wish to alter my destiny."
Right, and the woman talking remains as the other four seem to fade away into the background. You know they're still there, but for some reason you can no longer see them. But
Okay.
inside you know they're there, and she kind of steps down and approaches the dais that you came on, and she looks at you, and what gift shall I bestow upon you?
He doesn't know.
Yeah, yeah. And seeing your confusion, she hesitates. What power? If you could claim a power for yourself, what would it be?
Oh. Um Now this is a good question. This is where I'm gonna struggle out of game.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know. This is gonna be so he would want strength. But I don't know how that would translate into specifically like an item. Or to be able to protect. So he's thinking because again, nerd, probably like something like a sword and shield. But I don't know again how that would translate in game.
yeah, so what she's asking basically is the gift mechanic, the thing you can call on to get the bonus 3 dice. The
Right.
kind of unique superpower to you.
Um Can it be something relating to the altar of destiny? I don't know how that would translate to a power though.
Well, the ability to manipulate the strands of fate.
Yeah, I like that. That could definitely work for him. Um Thinking that this is absurd that he would say this, he would ask, he would ask verbatim what you just said, the ability to alter destiny and the strands of fate.
And she reaches down and taps your forehead, and you will be able to do that to any mortal creature.
This like blows his mind. He's like, "Holy, I just asked for the world." And she was like, "Yeah,
Mm.
okay, no problem."
And looking around, you can see the kind of band around her eyes is just tiny strands, each strand containing the fate of hundreds of people. And you can see like the tiniest sliver coming out to yourself. And there are just threads exploding out into your past of people that you've touched along the way.
This is the greatest. Absolutely.
And as she looks at you, um, that is my gift to you, but that is not all. And with a wave of her hand, you see out of the corner of your eye, kind of over your vision, this kind of diamond show up and begin blinking. This is something to help guide you in this new world. This information is like your world has computers, correct?
He nods. Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Then this should be relatively easy for you to understand and develop as you go.
He reaches out to take it.
Yeah, and as you reach out to this kind of thing in your vision, you kind of touch it and it just kind of gives a feed about information. As you focus, the diamond kind of moves in your vision to move over things, and you can see the different strands of fade on anything you're focusing on for a moment. And all of a sudden it turns into a circle, and she's like, beyond that, I have the ability to enhance through this system. You can call on the skills of any hero you wish and pull them into yourself while you're here. You can do this twice, and I can send those abilities with you. So, any talent or skill a previous hero may have had, we can give to you.
He has no idea. He's like, okay. Okay.
Is there anything you wish to accomplish in your life that you didn't have the talent for before?
He's like, I wish to be able to protect others. I wish to be able to defend myself as well. Mhm.
That we can do. And you see a number of abilities begin to flash up, and your brain is racing as you're looking. One screams out Guardian, another screams out Armorer, and just these constant words are flowing through your mind as you're looking. And what does Reginald's focus eventually fall on?
Uh, so he knows that he's being sent to be essentially like a protector, a champion to destroy evil. So he's going to choose. He liked the word guardian. That was a good one. And how many of these words is he selecting?
He can have up to two, and you will see them start appearing on the sheet.
Oh yes, I do. Very good. So he would have the guardian, obviously to protect those. Um, and he needs something to be able to attack. So, mechanically, Matt, what exactly are these going to do for me? The weapons embed guardian will let him do what?
Okay, so for yourself in the audience, there are different kinds of embeds, abilities that you can empower with your focus. Weapon embeds will give you different abilities. The Guardian one specifically gives you an extra bit in combat to guard and protect people.
Very good.
Uh, we will
And
get
if I went with something like armor, what would that do? That would just give me like plus to armor during combat.
something like Armorer would give you the ability to craft your own armor from the materials gathered. Guardian is kind of the one that gives you armor in combat. Uh, but there's basically
So,
three types of embeds at your level. There's combat embeds like Guardian, which is going to help in combat. Talents, which give unique abilities or crafting skills like armor. Or virtue embeds, which can give you a boost when using your virtue in a certain way, like if you are a medic or a trap maker, or the ability to travel through the wilderness or convince people of things and stuff like that.
okay, what would be like a for a vigor? Would there be specific ones for that?
Anything you could do with vigor, so like sur- pushing through the wilderness, enduring lack of food and supplies, the ability to like lift, push, and pull, running. Those are all examples of things that you could boost your vigor for.
Let's do vigor and let's do the like strength based one. So let's do like pushing, pulling, that one, the moving things when
Uh,
actually having to move something or interact with something using vigor.
yeah, so with that, you see those two things light up and kind of disappear into the corner. You know, if you focus on it, they'll come up. And the goddess looks you up and down, and how do you feel?
He's like, amazing. I feel amazing for possibly being dead. This is the greatest.
Well, we stopped you from dying.
He nods. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I appreciate that. This is great.
And as long as we have your promise that you will help try and fix this damaged world of ours.
He nods. He's like, I will do what I can to help those in need. Absolutely.
Wonderful. And one last gift before you go. Have you ever picked up a weapon in your life?
Uh he's like, no. He goes, well, there was this one time where I was, and he's just like, no, no.
And the goddess smiles. What feels right? And a slew of weapons appear around you, from hammers to swords to bows and arrows.
Um, hmm. something pretty like big. Like he's gonna go with like a two-handed. No, because he needs to protect people too, right? Yeah, he's gonna go with a hammer, like a big like two-handed hammer.
You pick up this hulking thing, and it feels heavy at first, and as a glow kind of engulfs Reginald, and choices in this world were very different from his choices on Earth as he trained daily, grew strong, and the hammer becomes lighter as your history in this world is being written. And you can almost see, because of your gift, the strands of fate being manipulated by the goddess in one hand as she is speaking with you in the other. Are you finding this satisfactory?
He like kind of tosses the hammer up, spins it around, grabs it, does like a big like swing with it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is great." He's like sets it down next to him, so he's like holding on to it, and the base of it is kind of sitting on the ground.
Good. And one last gift before I leave you. And she points, and your vision kind of does a whole bunch of information flies around you. As long as you're not slain by another brought from a different world, you will be reborn at sites of our worship, as long as they are intact. You will not die in this world simply.
That's fantastic. Okay, how will I know if I am facing another one of me? He says with like
It,
eyes kind of like squinty.
and as you focus, the little diamond appears and starts looking at her, and it just simply says goddess, otherworldly creature.
Perfect. So this will tell me if I am facing something that is could harm me then.
It should. It should. Others from your world, or other worlds, or the divine such as ourselves should be the only thing that can permanently slay you.
He's like, "Oh, okay, great." He looks like it's now just dawning on him what she's just said. That basically, like, unless it's one of us, one of these types of beings, I can't die. So he's this opens up a couple possibilities. Now he's really ready.
And with that, it's time to you to wake up to not a new life, but a different life. And everything fades and whirls, and your stomach lurches for a second, and when you're done, you're kind of standing on the second floor of some temple looking down at a destroyed landscape, broken roads, forests that are ablaze, and just this pot marked world, and you're not alone. And that's where we'll end this.
Excellent. Awesome.
All right. And with that, that's been our session 0 for Reginald the second of our PCs coming into this playtest game. I hope everyone's had fun. Gray, it's been good to have you.
Thank you. It's been great. Appreciate it.
Any parting words for the audience of what might be coming?
Expect shenanigans.
All
That is what I will leave you with, shenanigans.
right. All right, all. Bye for now, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.